Hello, beautiful people. Thanks for stopping by today. In this video, I'm going to be doing a multicolored mani with 2 solid colors and a shimmer glitter. So just gonna walk you through the process of how I do that. If this is your first video, welcome. If not, welcome back. I appreciate you hanging out and being here. So I have already prepped my nails. I soaked off my previous mani, cleaned up my cuticles. I had to fix my thumb, which broke. So I just repaired that with a tea bag tip. I will link a video of my process of that down below. The colors I'm using for this are Emily, which is a really beautiful creamy white. I am obsessed with this color. I have gone back to it multiple times. Aurora, which is also like this really creamy peachy color that I am obsessed with. And then Swell, which is the shimmery aqua blue that I'm going to be using. All Revel powders. I'm also going to be using Revel's 3-step system. When I'm using multiple colors, I like to go from lightest to darkest and then finish with my glitter. Since these both were very light colors, I just started with my thumb using Aurora, and then I switched to Emily, which you'll see here. These are really light colors. I think I end up doing about 4 dips of color and then capping it with clear. So it seems like it's a lot of layers, but it goes on pretty smooth and pretty light. After I completely finish dipping with Aurora and Emily, like those solid colors, the ones that don't have any glitter, I will fully activate before moving on to my glitter. One thing that drives me insane is if I get a speck of glitter in a supposed to be solid color nail. That drives me insane, and I will stare at it forever. So to avoid that, if you activate, then you won't risk getting any extra glitter or even any extra color on there. The activator kind of is that middle step that solidifies the base and makes it so you don't get anything extra, like a speck of glitter, that you do not want. So once I get to the 3rd dip of color, I'm getting a little bit closer to my cuticle edge. And this is where you'll see that I'll start to clean that up using my dotting tool. A dotting tool works great. You can also use a toothpick. I used a toothpick for a while before I got a dotting tool. The toothpick is actually smaller, so it can sometimes do a better job. You don't need to go out and buy all of these tools, but a toothpick will work really, really well. You can see I'm kind of getting a little bit closer. It looks like there's powder on my cuticle edge, so you just want to make sure to clean that up right away. It's a lot harder to file that off, file the edge, especially when you're getting closer to your skin. So if you clean that up beforehand, there's less to do later. I also really like to use Bonafide Beauty's glass cuticle files. I felt like that was a game changer when I started using one of those. I still use a combination of just a normal hand file. I've tried e-filing before, but I don't really know if I've figured out how to do that quite yet. So I'm not going to show you that. But I prefer using hand file just because I have a little bit more control. But the glass file is really nice for getting close to your cuticle edge without kind of chewing up your skin. It's a little bit softer, and I highly, highly recommend, if you don't have one of those, to get one. I also really like the glass cuticle pusher. I use one of those a lot as well. So I'm getting into the 3rd dip of the Emily, that white, creamy white color. Like I've said, I use this color multiple times. It's just a really beautiful, more sheer white. If you've ever done a milk bath or would want to do a milk bath nail, I highly recommend getting this color. I've done one in the past, and this really gave that milk bath look. So if you don't have Emily, what are you waiting for? Go buy it now. And you might as well add Aurora to your cart too. So I will finish dipping this third layer of Emily, and then I'll move on to my fourth layer of Aurora, and I'll go back to the Emily as well. Then you'll see that I will cap all of these with clear, the Vivian clear powder. I like to do this just because when you start to do filing and shaping, it gives you just an extra layer to file over or file through, and then you're not going to file away that color. I definitely have a lot of layers of these colors because they're more sheer. I find that I get a smoother overall color application if I do a couple more layers, but I cap every single mani I do, I cap in clear, just to help with the filing process, especially if you're using glitter. You don't want to, or just like chunky glitters, if you file too much and you don't have that cap in clear, you start to kind of file away the color, and then you just get that silver that's in the interior of the glitter, which you don't always want. So I'll let you go ahead and just watch me finish doing the rest of the dip process here. All right, now that I've finished dipping with my color, I'm gonna dust off really well, make sure I have no extra powder there. And like I mentioned, I'm gonna cap in clear. So using my Vivian, I like to keep one for my solids and one for my glitters so that I don't worry about getting glitter on my solid colors. And with my clear, I go pretty close to the edge, but I actually don't go as far as I do with my normal color, just out of preference so I don't have to worry about cleaning up my cuticles an extra time. I'll go ahead and let you watch that, and then I'll move on to the activator and to my pinky nail. All right, my nails are capped and clear. I'm dusting all that extra powder off. Again, you don't want to contaminate your liquids. That's one of the easiest ways to contaminate it. So just make sure you have a good dusting brush. I just use a makeup brush. Some people use the kind of coarser, like a toothbrush or something like that. I don't like how hard those bristles are for me, but as long as you let it dry, those work just fine. So I'm giving each of my fingers a really good dose of activator. Going back and forth, making sure I get the free edge as well. Don't want any lifting or chipping. The activator is what really solidifies the dip base. So you want to make sure to do a good job of applying that really well. And like I said, if you apply the activator to your solid nails before moving on to a glitter or a shimmer, then you won't get any of that accidentally on your finger. So just starting the process of dipping into Swell, that beautiful turquoise color. Oh, give it a like. Look at that. That's just beautiful. I'm a sucker for anything aqua. I really wish I would have done more, maybe more fingers in that color. Oh well. So dust it off really well, off camera, just going back with that second layer. And again, I think I do just 3 layers of dip here because it's more of a solid color. I didn't need to add that 4th extra dip. So I'll let you watch that. Look at that shimmer, sparkle. Oh, I love it. All right, now that I am pretty much finished with my pinky, I'm going to cap that in clear. So like I said, I have a separate jar that I keep some of my clear powder in that is just for my glitter or shimmer manis, because then I don't have to worry about getting any of those shimmer flakes or glitter into my like my pure clear base. Maybe I should actually show you what I'm doing, huh? Cleaning up those edges again, making sure everything looks good. A lot of people, like something I realize that a lot of people have struggles with is getting like smooth or thin nails. And it really comes down to the application, going nice and slow, thin layers, building up those layers, and then filing. If it's not smooth and flat before you do your top coat, the top coat's not going to magically solve that problem. I know some people who use gel say it's more forgiving, but I'm not a fan of gel myself. All right, there you have it. So I have all my nails filled with activator. They are nice and hard, ready to go. What I will do next is just file these, shape them, get them how I want, and then apply a top coat. I think these colors look really nice with my other mani. If you're interested in that, I used Rossi Lost and Found. I have a whole nail review video on their products. I'll link it below if you're interested. Thanks so much for watching. I so appreciate you spending some time with me today. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop anything in the comments that you want to see me do in the future, and I hope to see you soon.